It's not going. Oh, live, I think.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Can you hear us? If you are on the live,
go ahead and drop a comment so we know that you can hear us, you can see us.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Our mic is on. We're trying to use the mic, so please let us know.
In the comments below, can you hear us? Can you see us? Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna assume that everyone can hear us because no one said that they can hear us. So yay! Welcome to our first live.
First one ever.
Hey, you can hear us! Yay!
I care.
So super nervous. I need to get my scream out.
Yeah.
If you are new to our channel, welcome to our channel. I am Jocelyn Minerve.
I'm Ian Minerve.
We are 2 of 5, and
Minerve on the move.
We are 2 of 5, and our channel is all about living abroad, being Black abroad, teaching abroad, parenting, marriage, all those things. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now. This is our first live.
Yes.
I think we want to first start off with like a really big thank you to the people who are our subscribers.
Shout out to our over 500 subscribers. That's each and every one of y'all. So go ahead and clap that up. Appreciate y'all.
Right? And it's, it's only been 3 months.
Yep.
It's completely surpassed our goals. Somebody might say, 500 subscribers isn't that much, but I remember we had 16 subscribers. So
yes,
we are so happy that you decided to follow us along on our journey, and hopefully that you make your journey abroad soon. So let's just go ahead and dive into our channel. I know we talked about what our channel was, but a lot of you guys have been asking, like, who are we? So yes. I thought we'd start off with, like, who we are, a little bit about us.
And I'm going to go first. Okay. So my name's Ian Minerve, father of now 3. Originally, my family's from Trinidad and Tobago. So it's nice being in Honduras, which is a country surrounded by water, but it's not quite an island. However, it has similar island feel. And because of that background, being a first generation born in the States in my family, I kind of was opposed to moving abroad at first. So
not kind of.
I was opposed to moving
all
abroad
those
at
married
first.
women right now or married men, doesn't matter. If you have a spouse right now and they're like dragging their feet and like, I'm not sure if I want to go abroad, like just keep poking them in that same spot, and for a while they'll get it. Send them to our channel. I'm gonna jump in because Ian's can be very long-winded. But it's okay. He has the beautiful face. He's the face of the channel. So my name is Jocelyn Minerve. I am a graduate of Spelman College, also Marian University. I'm originally from California, born and raised, Long Beach, East Side. I went to high school in the Bay Area, also Florida. I've moved around my entire life, so going abroad was exciting to me. I'm bilingual, and I've been teaching for over 10 years. That's us in a nutshell. Yeah. Our backstory, we met in college freshman year.
Yep.
Spelman. Yeah, Spellhouse couple. So we've been together. We were just friends. Yep. But our story is very long. We've known each other since we were 18 years old. Yeah. So 18 years old. That's pretty much us. We might do another video about who we are later. But I wanted to get in also to like a recent update in Honduras.
Yes.
So the last time we did a Q&A, like we had been here for like a month.
About a month.
Maybe 3. No, it was because we started our channel in December. So the last update was in December. We had been here for like 4 or 5 months roughly. I think so. So I guess because I do a lot of the talking on the channel. Ian does like the behind the scenes work as far as like the editing and the music. There are some things that I want to like go back because they slightly changed a little bit. So I'm looking at my phone right now, my notes, you guys. Like this is real life right now. I remember doing a video about being really concerned about my kids' Spanish level. We moved here and our school is not like a dual immersion. We're 50-50. And I was so worried, like the kids are going to pick up Spanish. My Spanish isn't going to improve. Ian's Spanish isn't going to improve because we keep hanging around English speakers being at a bilingual school where mostly English is spoken. I want to take all that back. I want to take all that back because like my Spanish has improved. say words that, like you order in the drive-thru, and I learned how to say extra crispy for my chicken and extra caliente, like,
which is very important.
Yeah,
and that's what you want overseas.
Yeah, Ian's Spanish has improved. He was never able to order from the drive-thru at all, and
couldn't order. Period. Not even face to face with help.
Yeah, that was hard. Like everyone leaning on me to like use Spanish, like the translator. And I would say our youngest child, the smallest Minerva Mari, like he spoke absolutely no Spanish, and now he's better than me. Like he's improved.
He's fluent.
Yeah, he's like a fluent Spanish speaker, and it's only been, we haven't even been here a year. Like he corrects me.
Yeah.
So, and also Hondurans are super friendly. They are never going to be like, speak your Spanish better. Like Hondurans are so patient. Hondurans are so patient, and they will take your time, and they're okay. So it's pretty awesome.
Yes. So now, if you have questions, please go ahead and type them into the comment section below. We want this to be a dialogue, so we have some pre-made questions. However, we really want to hear from you guys. What are some things you're curious about? What are some things on your mind? We'll go ahead and get that going.
Well, actually, I just want to jump in because there was one other thing that I said I wanted to. We had a top 10s video, and I feel like the top 10 video was like the top things we like to do in the city. But there's so much more that we haven't got to because our car broke down. We are a family of 5. There's Comayagua, Gracia Lempira, Copan. There's so much to do. San Pedro Sula, Honduras especially has everything, nature, modern, all of it. So the questions. Let's go on to the questions.
Questions. Okay. So no new questions quite yet.
These questions from like our comment section or people who have been emailing us directly through our email, minervesonthemove@gmail.com, our Instagram that Ian does at minervesonthemove, and we divide them into 3 sections. Do you want to tell them what the 3 sections are? For our questions?
Yes, sorry. So the 3 sections are being Black abroad, teaching abroad, and last but not least, just living in Honduras. So those are the 3 sections. Feel free to share any questions about those 3. I'll jump start it with being Black abroad. So the first question I'll say is, reading the comments. Thank you guys for joining. The first question I'll say is,
hey Joe, we see you.
Have we experienced any racism? So I'll speak for myself first, and Jocelyn will speak for herself, just so you have a real-time impression from both sides. So me as a Black man, I would say I have not experienced any racism personally, like none at all as a Black man. And I do keep in mind that I am an educator, and so I have a certain vernacular as a Black man. However, even when I had a situation when we first got our car and there were some shady guys everywhere, I did not feel any of it was race related. It's just shady guys.
I don't even know the situation you're talking about.
Well, originally when we got our car, we had another car before that, and they were trying to sell us.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
So they were really mean, but they were just mean individuals. It had nothing to do with my race.
I forgot about that. It was.
If there is racism, I would say the racism I experienced was more so like fear-based from my perspective of me, of me being a big, tall Black guy because I'm 6'2", possibly being upset for them being shady and me seeing the shadiness.
Yeah, and he has tattoos.
I have tattoos, so I think that was the only quote-unquote racism that I experienced.
For me, I also want to preface this with, this is my experience, so I don't want to invalidate anyone else's. Yep. I think racism is everywhere. I think it's in the States. I think it's in Africa. I think racism is everywhere because there's stupid people everywhere. And I can't really base my decisions on life on of trying to avoid stupid people. That being said, I have never experienced racism. I haven't experienced racism either in Honduras, as far as like overt racism, people not wanting me to be there, or people saying something about my skin color. I have noticed people being very curious. If we're in places where there aren't people that look like us, there might be someone curious about like my hair, like my students, like, is that your real hair, miss? Like they haven't seen somebody show up with like an afro and then braids down to their back the next day. So I think maybe curiosity, but in Honduras, Hondurans can be very pale, peach skin, whatever you want to call it, but they can also be as dark as Ian shirt. Yeah. So people usually think that we're garifuna. People have called me mulatto, which is like a mixed race term. Like people are used to seeing people like us. So we honestly kind of works for us because people never think we're American.
And just context, garifuna people in general, they're Black people who are Honduran.
Yeah, I think most people know that.
And shout out to Roberto Anderson. Thanks for being a new subscriber. I appreciate that. So I'm going to read one of the questions and we'll address it. How modern is the area in which you guys live?
We live in San Pedro Sula, and I would say it's probably one of the most modern cities in Honduras. There's everything. So actually one of the questions about Honduras was like, is there stable internet? Is there delivery, like Uber Eats? We have Uber here. We have Hugo, which is basically Uber Eats. Yeah. We're on the internet right now. I don't know what it's looking like, but we have stable Wi-Fi connection. We have grocery stores. We have grocery stores that have the pre-order groceries. Like it's like any other city. Whatever you guys have in your city, we have in our city. Like there's country clubs, there's gyms, everything here. It's extremely modern, but also it's very beautiful. Like it's very modern, but it's not like in LA where it's completely crowded and I feel like dirty and congested.
So for context, for some of you guys who are wondering, just imagine a typical modern city, whatever state you're in, and you have that beautiful amenities that you usually see in commercials where like the landscaping is just gorgeous. That's what I would say Honduras is like. So it's very modern and you get that beautiful landscape of the trees, the nicely cut grass.
But it's not, I was gonna say it's not like nicely cut, like it's just like nature everywhere. Like you have iguanas and trees and lizards and big birds. They're not parrots. I don't know what their names are. There's this other animal that's a giant rat, but it's not a rat. That was really scary. So like
maybe that'll be in a video. So to hopefully answer your question, yes, it is modern. Are there more modern cities? Absolutely. Because I think there's just pockets of where you see like these brand new structures, buildings.
Yeah, there's high-rise condos. There's literally, it's a regular city.
So it is modern.
I see Joe, he said, how long did the culture shock last, if there was any?
You go first or you got it?
I'm going to go first, and then you go. Because I feel like
go for it.
I'm in it. I'm in the zone now.
Go for
so I would say, for me, it was just, I was still like on a cloud right now. There hasn't been too much of a culture shock for me because I was prepared. I spoke Spanish. I had lived abroad before. I had volunteered abroad. I did study abroad. Like I wanted this so badly. And then I think having Spanish was helpful. So I was able to integrate with like people at my gym or take a Zumba class and join a softball team and talk to everyone in Spanish.
Yeah.
And so, and then also like if you have kids, oh my gosh, it's so easy for us because whoever your kids' friends are, you become friends with them. Yeah. Like people are like, oh, he's so cute. What's your name? And then you start talking, like having those kids with us. I would say my oldest who was 8, you know, I wanted him to make friends quickly, and I try to push him, and I probably pushed him a little too much. Like, Monty, talk to him, talk to that person. He wants to play with you. But I would say it took about him 3 months, and a month 3 on his own without us prompting him. We're sitting at the dinner table. I don't know if you want to tell them the story.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we're sitting at the table on month 3, and my son looks up to me and says, Mommy, we're going to be in Honduras for 2 years, right? Because we told him we'd probably be there for about 2 years. And we told him that with the intention of staying longer, but, you know, he was kind of resistant. He didn't want to go. He was dragging his feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we might stay longer. And he says, you know what? Can we just stay here forever? I just want to stay in Honduras forever. I don't really want to move back to Atlanta.
Our jaws dropped, y'all. Like
3 months.
We weren't expecting that at all.
No.
So I'll jump in. For me, it was definitely a culture shock. Background from SoCal, Los Angeles, California, and high school years in Brooklyn, New York. Listen, y'all, it was a huge culture shock, as someone who came here not speaking Spanish, again being Black American from the States, it was a lot. So how long? I would say for me culturally, it took probably a month. It took a month for me to feel like, okay, this is kind of how the culture is. This is different. What was different? Obviously, they're all speaking Spanish. However,
that was really freaky the first day because, like,
even for you,
yeah, no, it was because we teach at a school where everyone is speaking English and we teach in English, so they're all speaking to me in English, like no accent, fluent. And then the bell rings and they go outside for recess, and everyone was speaking Spanish. I was like, whoa! I've never seen every single person around me speaking Spanish.
Yeah, that's pretty cool and shocking. I would say just the friendliness of the people here was reminding me of like Southern hospitality in the United States. I was kind of taken back by just how friendly every walk of life is. But what I mean by that is people who clearly had a little less, and people who had abundance.
People here are ridiculously friendly. Like open your door, they just met you friendly. Like
so that was a shock to get used to.
I see. Don't bring anything, just clothes. Like that's my suggestion is you don't need all that stuff, and then you're gonna pay for bags, and they have everything here. Everything is here. Like if we were living on like a remote island, that's different. But we moved to a modern city. There's everything here, and Amazon. There's a way to get Amazon to ship here if you pay a packing fee. But we just packed too much. We should have just brought clothes. We should have just really brought clothes.
So
and I say we're so tall. Like we're sitting down. I'm like 5'11", 6 feet.
So 6 feet, 6'2".
Yeah, and I like have hips and thighs. Like I mean, Hondurans have hips and thighs, but I'm juicy, y'all.
Juicy. Baby.
So if you juicy and you tall, like you need to go bring your clothes. You got big feet. If you're a size 10 like me, bring shoes. So.
I was really grateful to bring my Kindle. Just so I can go ahead and grab a lot of books.
And you can buy a Kindle here though. You can buy a Kindle.
Your electronics, so like your laptops and things. It's just better to get it at a better price for your electronics.
Yeah. But back to black stuff, because I see a question about do they have things for Black here? That would be another thing that I would say to bring. So as far as being Black abroad, I know we kind of strayed away from that completely, which I'm cool with that. You're cool with that.
We're flowing.
We're flowing. Cool they do have Black hair products here because again, there are people that look like us here, but I don't like the stuff. Like, you know, it's just like stuff that I used back in 1995, like pink hair lotion and Murray's. So like that's here. There's Prima Nature.
That's the blackest thing you've said.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it just I'll use it. The African Royale, like I'll use that, but like you're not gonna find shea. Well, there was shea moistures I saw, and it'd be more expensive. But I would personally bring my own stuff for Black hair products.
Yes, and that goes for the men too. Grooming gear. You just want to make sure if you have electronic shavers, bring a quality one. Take care of it. Bring extra cords to laptops, electronics, just because it'll be more expensive and sometimes it's not readily available for you. So just be mindful of that.
Next section.
A pack light.
Yeah, pack light. Next section, we get a lot of questions about teaching abroad. How do we get our jobs? If you want to know how to work in education, hey, Emily, my neighbor's outside. If you want to know about how to get jobs abroad, whether it's teaching or not, I always recommend the best avenue is in education. I won't go deep into that because we have a video on there about why education is the easiest way to go abroad. But to give you the synopsis, there are millions of jobs. There's teachers, there's counselors, there's coaches, people who work in business administration office, the admissions office, the receptionist. There are too many jobs at a school that is not teaching, and it's so many benefits. So definitely check out that video. Another question that we get is always like, are the schools diverse? I would say no. He's thinking. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all and brief, like my someone always says.
Yes. Shout out to her.
I would say it's just the reality of it's no. Like we're in Honduras.
Yeah.
We are in Honduras. It's not like a destination location, although it should be. But typically, most of the people here are going to be Honduran.
Majority of the people are Honduran. Occasionally, you'll run into some Venezuelans. That's about it, really.
Yeah,
and then foreign hires like ourselves.
Yeah, in our city. But there are people, if you move to Honduras, pretty much everyone's going to be Honduran. So if your diversity is talking about racial diversity, yes, Honduran comes in different colors. But it's not like New York where people are Chinese and Italian and Mexican.
I wanted to tackle one of these questions. Love the stream name, by the way. This is from the Freedom Goddess. Yes, people here are patient with non-speaking Spanish speakers.
Yeah,
so for me, people have been very, very gracious with me in talking to me. So yeah, I just wanted to address that.
What kind of license do you need to teach? It depends. Like our school, if you want to teach abroad, like it's better to have a license. Obviously, it's better to have a degree in education, a master's in teaching. All those things are going to make it better. But there is a teacher shortage everywhere. There's a teacher shortage in the States, in the UK, in Central America.
Yeah.
So if you have experience, that would be like my main focus is you just need to have teaching experience.
Another question coming in. What was...
You can address that.
Okay.
That's fine.
What was the most surprising thing you did or saw? So for me, I'll answer first. One of the most surprising things that I've done when I saw, sorry, relationship stuff, y'all, is going to this place called Sambo Creek, which there's another video on that, so I won't really talk too much about it.
And if you're black, you already know Sambo. Like the town's called Sambo Creek.
Y'all.
It's by a creek.
It's a real place.
You guys
called Sambo.
Yeah, you should know. Sambo. So, but everybody there was pretty much Garifuna, and they were literally the nicest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was surprising. Like,
I think for me, just to clarify, I was just so surprised how welcoming they were.
Yes.
And how they just made us feel like your family.
It was scarily welcoming.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, please do not. I don't want to be canceled after saying this, so please take what I'm saying in context. Like, I know who I am. I know I am a safe person, and I'm not going to hurt people or children or anyone. So I know that. But y'all don't know that. Y'all do not know that. And so for me, never met me.
Yeah.
And like their parents are like, hi, and they just go right back in the house. I'm like, what if I was a kidnapper?
Yeah.
Like, it was scarily friendly. And I also think, we're bringing that with us, those thoughts, because we're from the States.
For sure.
And the States is not friendly. And honestly, it's very dangerous. Like, it's very dangerous to be a child. It's very dangerous to be a woman. It's very dangerous to a person of color. Yeah. But here, like, we had so many conversations. People invited us to their homes and to a celebration of life. Like, that trip.
Rituals.
It was great. It was so great. The food was good. The people were good. Honestly, we wish we could have recorded more, but at the time I didn't have this mic.
Yeah.
My camera, and then also we're a people, like Ian and I, we forget to turn the camera on.
Because we're living life, y'all. There's just a lot of things that Jocelyn does an amazing job of recording so much. And there's so much you miss. You just have to come out here.
Yeah, I later am like, I wish I would have recorded that, because you can't make up something funny that someone said or a beautiful flower that you saw. But I don't record enough. I put the camera away. And yeah, someone's saying, is it safe in Honduras for a solo traveler?
Yes.
Again, these are through our eyes and our experience. So I feel very comfortable, like even as a woman, just going through. I do speak Spanish. I always say that I do speak enough Spanish, but I be walking around Honduras speaking in English. Like, hey everyone, welcome to our channel. I'm in Honduras. Like, so if I'm walking around with an iPhone at night, daytime, alone with my kids, like I've always felt safe here.
Yes. As a man, yeah, it's safe. I think for me, it's more, I feel nervous. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna feel that if it's new, anything new, you're gonna feel a little something. However, in terms of safety, no, I feel very safe. As a matter of fact, just the other day, I was taking my son to baseball, and I had my phone out calling the Uber, and this lady in Spanish let me know, hey, just be careful. You have your phone out. I just want you to be mindful. I was like, wow, that was really kind. She didn't have to say anything to me, and it was fine. There was just joggers running by me.
And I also think, like, the people who talk about how Honduras is the most unsafe are like two people. Either one, you've never been here your entire life and you're reading something on the internet, and the internet's always going to show the worst things. It's like sensationalism, like, click me, I'm walking through the worst part of Honduras, and everyone's gonna like, why would we do that? Why would we say, hey, let's go in the middle of the night to the most dangerous place we can find and find a drug dealer? Like, we're never gonna do that. I wouldn't do that back home in New York.
If you go looking for trouble, you'll find it.
Yeah.
You go looking for good things, you will find it. Whatever you're looking for,
you'll find it.
You're gonna find it.
You know, I always give the example of like the States. Like, people here who have never been to the States will sometimes say like, oh my gosh, you were a teacher in the States? Aren't they shooting all the time? Like, you know, last night our friends were from England we were eating with, and they're like, so have you ever seen a gun? Does everyone have a gun in the States? Like, they picture in their mind like grocery store, barbershop, and it says gun store, and everybody's just walking in and buying guns, and then we all just shoot everyone. So it's like people who aren't from here see a video of the worst things that are in Honduras, which sucks because it's so beautiful. Yeah. It's an amazing country.
Shout out to Puerto y Salado. Thank you for saying we look Honduran. I take that as a huge compliment.
I love a huge compliment. I hope people say that always.
Yes.
Last question, tackling our teaching section is, how are the students? How are the children here? And we teach in San Pedro Sula, so we're going to talk about our experience there.
Yes. So I'll start. I teach third grade, so a bunch of 8, 9-year-olds. And so the temperament is amazing, y'all. Yeah. If you ever taught or even walked into a classroom in the States, just a typical States classroom, these students are top tier. My worst student competes with some of my best students.
We're talking about behavior
in the States. Yeah. Behavior-wise. I'm not talking about intelligence. Intelligence-wise, very smart kids. Yeah. However, with behavior, they're just culturally is so respectful.
And it's shocking because, like, we work in an international school. Yeah. I've worked at an international school before back in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So if you're working at an international school, you are going to always serve the wealthiest. Yeah. Usually. There might be someone on scholarship, but usually the top 2%ers, like the wealthiest people. And there's usually a reputation of, like, if you're wealthy, you're going to have spoiled little rich kids. Do I think that some of our students haven't experienced and will never have to, which is a great thing, some of the things like extreme poverty? No, they haven't. They won't experience things like that. My kids never experienced that in the States. Yeah. But they are so kind. Like,
that's the
way. Like, everywhere. Hi, Mies. Hi, Meester. Hi. Like, you know, back home, I would have to be like, Daquan, turn around, sit down, put your hands around. And if I'm just like, hey, you're not supposed to be talking right now, they're like, oh, okay. Like, I'm just like, wow, they're so polite. Please rub off on my children. Like, please rub off.
And don't let us paint just a full rosy picture. I would also say even students who struggle, just some high flyers, what we call them, they'll have a situation. Like, one student had a situation, and I was just like, hey, buddy, you know, this is what you did. What do you think about your actions? Corrected them. Mm-hmm. They needed some time to process those emotions. And then afterwards, once I helped them connect the dots of, hey, it was wrong to treat this student another way that was harmful. You know, how would you feel? Put yourself in their shoes. Yeah. And they said, Mister, I'm so sorry. Can I go hug them? A boy. This was a boy. That's amazing.
Yeah. And, like, you know, most of our experience is going to be based off San Pedro Sula, and I'm asked, people are in the comments, like, what parts have you gone to? We've been to, obviously, we are SPS, but La Ceiba, Amoa, Samo Creek, Tela, Copan. We were planning to go to Comayagua, and we just enjoy it, and then we forget to record stuff. Like, we just love it so much. And it's like, it's so difficult. Like, we're there with each other. We moved here to, like, experiences, and our kids are there. So sometimes we don't want to be like, okay, let's record this. Don't eat your food yet. Let's record our food before you eat it. Like, we just want to, like, enjoy life. So there are so many things in Honduras. There's so many places. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface. Like, it's amazing.
However, majority of the places we have touched the surfaces on is a video. So just check out the channel.
Yeah. Not all of them, but majority. No, not even majority, because he went to Copan and has all these pictures with, like, macaws all around you, and
Beautiful.
and seeing ruins, and we have no. It's like it didn't exist for you guys. So we have to do better. We have
in progress.
Yeah, we can go to. So we talked about being Black abroad and teaching abroad. So our next section is Honduras, and we have a question from King Kevin.
King Kevin.
What made us move to Honduras?
My wife made us move.
That's the right answer.
That's what made us move to Honduras.
No, it's not true. No,
it's partially true.
My wife. That's me.
So
I made him move abroad. Like I was fed up. Like for me, it's like how they treat women in the States, how they treat Black Americans in the States. But even like I would say I could have survived that. But what I couldn't survive was working to death. Like work until I die. Like I work so hard.
Yeah. And
I don't mind working hard. But my thing is I want to work hard and be able to go on vacation. Like work hard and not be like, can we order pizza tonight? Like we should not have to work 100 hours. And I would say between the both of us, like 150 hours, something crazy. And then like have to live in the hood and budget everything and never go anywhere. So I was tired and I was like, we're going abroad.
Essentially for me, we just had some really honest conversations with each other right around the pandemic. Family time. The answer was no.
And I also was like, you either come with me or you're not, or I'm going.
I definitely got that all together,
like Honduras.
For sure.
It was never on the radar.
Yeah.
We were like Team Mexico or Team Panama. I love Mexico, love Mexican culture. We're both from SoCal.
Yeah.
Like living in SoCal or being raised in SoCal is like, like being the only Black kid always. Everyone's Mexican. You grew up eating flautas, pozole, tacos. Yeah. Spanish words. Like it's just. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Mexico. Then I went to go to Panama because oh my gosh, Panamanian food. It is so good. I love to eat, y'all, and Panamanian food is really good. But we interviewed at both of those places. Honduras called us and said, hey, we want to interview with you. And it was not even on the radar. We weren't even going to go to the interview. And I was like, let's just go. Ian is the reason why we moved to Honduras.
Trust in my gut, y'all. We talked to locals and we talked to foreign hires who were working here. And it just made sense. It made sense to why not try it out.
The dollar goes far. Also, San Pedro Sula, unlike the Tegucigalpa, like I'm biased, but I think San Pedro Sula is a much better city. Like you're in Mexico City, which is an amazing city. Panama City, you're in Panama City. But where we are in San Pedro Sula, like we can drive and within an hour and a half get to mountains and rivers and beaches and lakes, waterfalls and ruins, and also a modern city. Like you can't get like there's so much to do in Honduras. Like there's literally everything here. There's everything here. So not every country is like we have everything. Like there's everything here. But hot weather.
Honestly, some stuff we discovered while being here. Like obviously football, for those who are American, soccer is a big sport out here. And second big sport was basketball. That was a pleasant surprise. So
I wouldn't say it's a lot of baseball because I'm, an ignorant American. I used to say, football and baseball. Not a lot of people play baseball here, and I really miss seeing baseball. So don't come here for baseball. More questions. I'm going to run through these questions real quick. So again, if you just got on, we're answering questions, Q&A. If you're a subscriber, you can drop comments or questions. But I also have a list of all the questions, most recent questions you guys have been DMing us on email, Instagram, and our comments. And we're talking now about life in Honduras. We do have stable Wi-Fi, but I mentioned that earlier. But what I didn't mention was there are sometimes scheduled power outages in the city, but they're scheduled. So, it's like we kind of know it's coming. We've only had, I think, 3 this whole time. That's not really a big inconvenience to me. It lasts like the day. No. It doesn't even last the day. Doesn't it last the day? It's like 8 hours.
Few hours.
It's not. You'll have it if you don't have it in the morning. You'll have it by the afternoon or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then also, if you don't pay the power bill on time, they will shut it down immediately. Like they will shut down the power. So there was a few times where the power bill wasn't paid on time, and all of a sudden we were burning up sweating because there was no AC, no fan, no nothing. So you better pay that bill on time because they don't play. They will shut it down. They don't care. They don't care about your life.
Yeah, they don't care about your life like your spouse calling you out and lie. Which is true though.
I didn't say no names. I think everyone got
the whiplash.
Well, so there's going to be an international exchange fee based off your credit card. Yep. So if your credit card is like we charge 15%, then they're going to charge 15%. If your credit card is like we charge 0.5, like you have to set up with American Express what those fees are.
Yep.
And I think our most expensive fee was like 36 cents. And that was like for something that was like $130. Like the fee is like,
it's very small.
Yeah.
Depending on your bank.
It's laughable because the dollar goes so far here. Like we went to the movies. We got 5 drinks, 3 popcorns, 2 nachos, a chili dog, and a candy. And we like spent $20. Like back home, that's probably like $200. So if you charge me a $2 fee, I don't really care because the total was $22 and it was still cheap. In the school, public schools, they run off a different schedule. I want to say they get out in February and go back after Easter. No, it's after something. It's not after Easter because Sebi, our friend has a son who's in public school. No, it's a regular school year. Their summer's just different. Like their summer's like they get out in February, they're out in March, and I think they go back in April. That's what I think it is. Is that they have February, March, and April off. But we work in international schools, so it follows the American curriculum. So we just get out in June and go back at the end of August. So
that would be 10 months. And then you have summer programs, and a lot of the students, at least at our particular school, international school, has those summer programs that you can enroll your kids in.
And, I keep wanting to say we are at an international school, so we're usually serving more of an upper middle class or just the upper class. So we do not, pictures of Honduras is always the people in extreme poverty. And it would be a lie to sit up here and say that it doesn't exist because it does exist. And we have seen it. We just don't know a lot about it as far as like the public school system. I know it's not great. Yeah. I know that it's definitely not great in the States, but I also know that it's definitely not great here. So there are places where people and children are living in extreme poverty. And so their situation with school is going to be completely different. But I'm sure those of you who are transitioning to go abroad, whether it's to Honduras or to Europe or Africa or wherever, like you have first the funds to move. Like you have the funds to move your whole life and uproot your whole life and the resources and the knowledge to do so. So it's really, honestly, dumb. It's really stupid. It's like apples and oranges. You can't compare your situation, what your life would be like. You can't say, well, I'm moving to Mexico and I heard that there's extreme poverty there, or Venezuela. Like Venezuela, there is extreme poverty there because you're coming with dollars and lots and money, and you will never live that life. You will, people who are immigrating to the States, if they're coming and they have money and they're educated and they have resources, they're not saying, let me find the worst part of Detroit and St. Louis, and I want to live in the worst part of Chicago. You're not going to do that. So you're not going to do that if you're moving from country to country. You want to keep going?
Sure. Can a single person live off $1,000 USD?
Yeah, 2 people asked us that. 2 people asked us that in our comments.
What would you say?
I would definitely say yes. And it also depends. So if you're single and you're like only have $1,000 a month, you can buy a house, a car, go out to eat, grocery shop. Like you can live off $1,000. Now, somebody says over there too. Yeah, you can live off $1,000. Now it depends on the lifestyle you live. Like we don't live a lifestyle we live in Atlanta.
It's lavish, y'all.
It
is lavish. We love our lifestyle. Again, check out the channel.
Yeah, in Atlanta, we did not.
On it. We live an upscale, privileged lifestyle, and so we're very, very grateful.
I'm grateful for it, and I also try to remember that I'm a guest in this country and my place.
First and foremost, so we are guests.
Yes,
so we act accordingly.
Exactly. Don't come over here because we know some people who come over here and bring America here.
Yeah,
and we know them, and we just you should have just stayed there.
Don't do it.
Don't bring your thoughts and your theories and your ideologies.
You will be humbled.
Yeah, you be humble. This is Honduras. Respect the people. Respect the culture. Yeah. Respect how they move.
Learn the culture.
Can I use my iPhone here? Yes, you can, but I would just not the 14. The 14 does not have a SIM card, so you cannot put a SIM card. iPhone did that on purpose.
As long as you have a phone, doesn't have to be iPhone, but specifically to that question, and Canada, I believe, and Mexico.
Yeah, and I also like the mail system because my mom's probably watching the channel right now. She's always like, I want to send some stuff with the kids. There's not addresses here. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, are there some places have addresses, but majority of places we go to don't have addresses. So if someone says, "What's your address?" There's no like 1, 2, 3 Happy Lane. Like, it's like even when people come to our what's it called in English? Off Colonia. What is this?
Residential
compound.
Area.
So like we live in a compound or residential area. The guards, Uber coming to pick us up. Like, it's not like they're like, where are they going? You just say the yellow house. What is the, especially if they Tegucigalpa, like directions are like, go down that street that has like a crooked road.
You're gonna be next to the statue.
And there's gonna be a dog peeing, and you make a right. Like, there's no street. Like, there's
not an exaggeration.
Yeah, so like that's the one thing that's trippy is like, wait, how
it's one of those things you live here long enough when you know.
Yeah. In San Pedro Sula, it's a lot better because we have streets. Like, we have avenues and streets. That's it. But there's some places it's just there's nothing. It's just you just go down that street and everybody knows the street.
Another juicy question. What is your favorite food? Baleadas, tamales, or tacos?
Let's say down 3. 1, 2, 3.
Baleadas.
I knew he was gonna say baleadas.
Listen, y'all. They can make those other things, and that's fine. But a Honduran that makes a baleada,
you're so good.
From here.
Yeah. I don't know, like,
so good.
I never even heard of baleadas. Like,
never heard of it till being here.
Like, now I think about it, I've never been to like a Honduran restaurant. I've been to a million Mexican restaurants, like in Latin America, really Colombian food, but the baleadas, like, they're like, hell, when you think of Mexico, you think of tacos.
Yep.
When you think of yeah. Well, I also think of Mexico. I think of tamales. I don't know if they're really from there. But when you think of Honduras, you think baleadas. Somebody said with steak. I love baleadas with everything. Steak, beans, eggs, avocado. They're so good.
Yeah. So now you guys have to come to Honduras so you can try it.
And then the other thing is parrillada. I think I'm saying that right. Parrillada, which is like grilled meats that are perfectly seasoned. Like, they're like, the chicken is perfectly seasoned. The chorizo, the steak, like, it's just,
well said.
Parrillada is so good. With the chimichurri sauce, oh my gosh, it's so good. Other questions that people have been dropping down in our videos was, this is what we get a lot. People argue, and we are polite. In the comment section, we're polite. People will argue and say, there's no way that little amount of income, there's no way. Like, I've been to Honduras and I know people in Honduras, and you have to have more money than that, or you're not getting paid that much. It's not possible. Or the opposite, like, you spend way too much money, and people who spend a lot more. And like, we have a maid and a big house, and it's safe, and we travel, and we have bought a car. So I don't think that we're spending this. I feel like it makes sense. Like, I don't know what made me. I think our situation is different because of the kids. We were so like, we have to wait to move abroad at the perfect time. And I know, like, they need stability. We don't want to be like, we move this year and this year and this year. And like, we just keep moving and moving. So I think for us, we're like, we still want to have one more move because there's so much of the world that we still want to experience. Like, I would hate to be like, we always wanted to live abroad, and then we moved to Honduras, and we stayed there and we died. Like, Ian probably would be fine with it. Ian probably would be fine with it. It's actually me. Like, there's still a couple more places that I really want to travel, and I want to bring my kids. But when I think about coming back and settling down, we're not settling back in the States. I could 1,000%.
Said it on camera live.
I could 1,000% see us leaving this country to explore another country that I really would like to visit and travel, and coming back because Honduras.
It's a gem, y'all.
Yeah, I lived in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Dominican Republic. My parents were in the military, so we've lived in a million states.
She has traveled.
Honduras, number one. It's number one, y'all.
Yeah, I would highly consider it easily. I don't have to think about that. Next question. how's the medical and dental service? And thank you for your warm regards, Ron Jones. We really appreciate that, brother.
Thank you for saying. I'm over here.
Go to the dentist, just annual checkup experience, also on the channel. Beautiful experience. And they take care of your kids' teeth.
Yeah. I would say they have everything in the States, but better. I say it's better. Not like oh, the equipment is so better. It's the newest. No, not like that.
Relationships.
That's it. It's the relationship.
Oh my goodness.
The delivery is better.
Way better.
Hey, Gabrielle. Hey. I have one of my students online. Hey. But no, the delivery is better. Like you go to the States, they put you in the waiting office. You have small talk. But all Hondurans are so kind. They're so friendly. The attention to detail. Like it's just everyone here is so friendly. So I say it's better because, getting candid, our daughter also had to see a neurologist here a few times. Mm-hmm. She has epilepsy. And by far, I hate the neurologist back in Atlanta. We were going to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, one of the best, the best of the best in Atlanta. Yeah. But it was hard to get an appointment. They your daughter could be having a seizure and they'd be like, sorry, we're booked up for 6 months. Bye, click. It's not personal. But here, they know our names and they take their time, and everyone here is just so friendly.
Very kind.
Yeah.
Also, just on the medical note, so it is here. Like most places, though, the waiting, you will have to wait sometimes. And that can be a little annoying.
That's CP time. Back in the States, we say CP time. We're talking about colored people time. Here's Caribbean people time. We had to wait and wait and wait. We had to wait. But everywhere in the Caribbean was like that. And DR was like that. Is like that.
I don't know. Yeah. Kind of just dealt with it.
Yeah.
So that would be my only knock, which is common throughout this part of the world. You just waiting. However, once you are seen, they are very intentional about making sure you are together with all the things that you need. Because I had a car accident. The person who I saw, once he did see me, and actually that wait time wasn't too long.
Yeah, because you're in a car accident.
Yeah. Which is another thing. Yeah, they see you immediately depending on the severity of
Atlanta. Oh, I just thought about
same
that.
Accident.
I was badly banged up. I couldn't walk. I was literally on the floor. This is a true story, y'all. I was literally on the floor after our car
leaving, and I drove about
the new subscribers. Hello, Gabrielle. Is there anything else? I think we're gonna end it here or what?
Well, as we're wrapping up, this is your last chance. We want to give you a last chance to go ahead and put any questions. We'll give it about a minute. If we don't see any new questions, then we'll move forward from there.
Yeah. I just want to say, definitely Honduras was a scary decision because there wasn't that much information out there.
Right.
So if you're going to a country, whether it's Honduras, actually there, not the people who are I heard, locals. Or my friend, go talk to the locals, see the people there, and we really hope that we're making an impact to, everyone, but also people of color, and that through us, we will be a guide for them to start their journey wherever it is, and also really showing off how amazing the country of Honduras is, whether we live here until our hairs grow old and gray, or we leave next week, which we wouldn't leave next week. But if we did, we still love this country. It's amazing.
Also, for all the Hondurans who are watching this, thank you so much for allowing us to be a guest and being vulnerable with us to allow us into your culture. And hopefully we're doing you guys proud according to some of the comments we are. Thank you. We want to keep it going. So any suggestions of places to go, places to shine some light on, please let us know.
And also whatever you want to see. Once we leave here, please go ahead. Whatever you want to see, if you put them in the comments, we're going to try to make a video. Feel free to reach out to us directly on Instagram.